Targeting parents. Newly released emails show the National School Board Association did, in fact, coordinate with the White House and the Department of Justice, all before it sent a letter comparing concerned parents to domestic terrorists. Here now, Lara Trump, Fox Business contributor and daughter-in-law to former President Trump. Lara, great to see you today. I'm looking at all of this news. You see the White House's fingerprints all over this story. Lara, what do you make of the White House's involvement in this very controversial letter?
Well, I think we get more and more information all the time about this. I mean, initially we saw that AG Garland basically told us there was no coordinated communication of any kind. So a lot of people are wondering, did he possibly perjure himself by saying that? Then, you look at, as you're just referencing, the White House having knowledge of this beforehand. And, you have to take a step back and realize that the government's role in education is to ensure a free, high-quality education for all K through 12 students, not to threaten parents who, speak out against certain ideas or want to learn more about what's going on in their child's school, or maybe ask questions that are not, right along the lines of what the school board would like them to ask. That is not the role of the federal government in any way, shape, or form. And I think that this is one of the reasons that you've seen so many parents, Brian, become so much more involved and say, wait a minute, something is off here. This does not feel right to me. I have a right and a duty as a parent to learn what is going on in my child's school without fear of having a domestic terrorist label slapped on me. So I think the more we find out, the more concerning it becomes as parents, the more concerning it becomes as American citizens to see all this behind the scenes coordination. It's not unlike whenever we saw that the CDC came out, don't forget, several months ago with their guidance for students to wear masks after the teachers union basically opined on it and said, let us give you the guidance on this. So a lot of people wonder who is actually in charge, who is actually running things when it comes to the CDC, when it comes to the Justice Department, when it comes to the White House. We still want to know who is really in charge. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of great answers. Well,
and when you find out, actually, it is the White House in charge. They were involved in this memo. They apparently were willing to go along with the sentiment expressed in this memo. When you find that out, then parents start to say, you know what? I don't want education controlled at the top. I don't want the White House dictating this. I want it happening at the local level. Lara, I got to get your take on this other story, though, while I have you. I want to get your take on the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. Both sides resting after an emotional few days, with closing arguments now set for Monday. Take a listen to Kyle's mother speaking to Sean Hannity.
Biden don't know my son whatsoever, and he's not a white supremacist, he's not a racist, and he did that for the votes. And what he did to my son, he defamed him.
Lara, your reaction to Kyle's mother and what she's saying about the motivations behind the way that he's been treated?
Well, I think her assessment of the motivations is spot on. I mean, we saw that Joe Biden was happy to jump on board any sort of virtue signaling thing he could during the campaign to try and bolster himself in any way, to try and get himself a few more votes. And whenever you're telling a 17-year-old, when someone who's running for president of the United States is calling a 17-year-old kid a white supremacist, that is a major accusation. And, in the United States of America, we have due process. We let the law play out. We let a trial play out. And we don't need people like Joe Biden coming out and slapping a label on someone, or the way that the mainstream media has jumped to so many conclusions and basically told us all what happened here and decided the end of a case before it's even happened. It's very concerning. And obviously you hear the torment in his mother's voice. You hear how terrible this has been for her and her entire family. It's just a shame that we have, unfortunately, a media in America now who does not stand for truth and putting the facts out. They instead want to push a political narrative, and whatever narrative it is that the far left is asking them to do, and they're happy to oblige. They are all political activists, after all, disguising themselves as journalists. And so it's just unfortunate because so many people distrust the media now, Brian, and it shouldn't be that way. We should be able to turn on our televisions. We should be able to open a newspaper and get the facts and then make an assessment for ourselves from that point on. But unfortunately, you saw what Joe Biden did, and you've seen how so many major media outlets out there have jumped to conclusions and condemned this young man before the end of the trial has even happened.
Lara, I think you raise a great point. There's what the narrative you hear in the media, and we've heard in the media, and then there's the evidence that people have been able to see in the trial, and they're looking at the gap between the narrative and the evidence, and they're saying, what has happened to the institution that's supposed to help us understand the facts? Great points, Lara. We got to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.